Welcome to another episode of Dad Up, everyone. Thank you guys very much for joining me. I'm excited for this conversation because this gentleman was on a show that I recently watched, and he was, although he didn't win, he's he's just a good dude. He's was a professional basketball player. He coaches. He's got a family. He's got kids. He and his wife are a team, and it's just a good family guy. And I thought, he stood out in this show, and I thought I got to try to get a hold of this guy, and I did. I reached out to him, and he was very willing to come on the show. So I'm excited to have him on. My good friend TJ Stukes, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you for having me, Bryan. I appreciate you.
Yeah, awesome. Listen, for those of you that are out there that are big fans of, maybe Netflix, things like that, there was a show that came out a couple years ago, but it came out and it was a it was a movie-based show called Squid Games. And then this last year came out the reality show of that show called Squid Games. And TJ was number 182 on that show. And it's a reality-based game show, essentially what it was. But it was very popular. I know a lot of people that watched it. My boys watched it. I mean, so it was very popular, and I'm dying to get into all that. However, before we do that, I want to know a little bit more about you, TJ. Let's learn a little bit more about how you kind of grew up and kind of your background, how you got into the things that you're doing now. Then we'll get
Okay.
into a little bit about your family as well.
Okay, well, my name is TJ Stukes, from the Bronx, originally raised in Mount Vernon, split time being raised in Mount Vernon and the Bronx. My mom's Denise Brown, my dad's Timmy Stukes. I have three siblings, three sisters, 6'1", 6'1", and 6'2".
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I have a large family, like literally, not like physically. I have a large family. You know, what else? I went to Mount Vernon High School, the Bronx Regional High School. Went to college in Kansas, of all places, Independence Community College. Then I transferred to Pittsburgh College, which unknowingly would change my life. Um, I had a chance to go to St. John's in New York. The coach is like, "Here, you got to sign. Like, you sign right now." And I didn't, because I chose love, and it thankfully it worked out for me because everyone was pissed at me. But what else? I played. I went to Poland, came back really quick. Then I started playing with the Harlem Wizards, and I thought I was doing the wrong thing because it was entertainment basketball, and I was a real ball player. And then realized quickly that I'm doing the right thing when I realized how much I gave back to people,
Mm.
and and then went to play in China, Africa, Europe, uh, Australia, uh, Japan, um, Turkmenistan. That's near Iraq.
Mhm.
Um, and then retired March of 2023 and played almost on paper, played 15 years, but altogether with the street ball in New York, basically playing pro, played 19, almost 20 years pro. And basketball has been a staple in my life. We have two kids, me and my wife Sam, 13 and 10 years old. A 13-year-old, Amari, he's our boy. He's the artistic guy. And the 10-year-old, she's the hooper. She is the hooper, the hooper. She's a mix of me and her mom, and that is a scary mix. So my wife Sam, she's from El Paso, an Army rat. She's half some. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'd say half Samoan, half Mexican, but they say 100% Samoan, 100% Mexican, because she's 100% both, which makes no sense to me, but I understand. And so our kids, they have me, my dad's Jamaican, my mom is African American, so our kids have that blend of island and the blend of cultures, so uh, um, yeah, our kids is all right. And Sam, she is a no nonsense, loving, soft, no nonsense. I'm saying it twice. Woman. You can make her mad, and you can get the Mexican side. You can make her mad, or get the Samoan side, and both are scary. But I started coaching. I initially I didn't want to coach, but she got the offer to be the head coach of Northern New Mexico College, and I ultimately decided to be her assistant, which was a jolt to me because I'm used to being the leader on the court. I'm used to being the guy people follow, you know, and now I'm learning all over again the game. And it's frustrating, but it's fun, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
That's awesome. So you're coaching at the college level. What division are they? Are they
The NAIA.
okay, NEI.
Yeah.
So the reason I ask is because my both my boys, thank you for sharing all that, by the way. But both my boys, I have two boys, 25 and 22, grew up playing sports from the ages of 4 all the way up through high school. And then my younger son got a scholarship as well to play in college. And they played, baseball, football, basketball, but they both gravitated when they were, 10, 11 years old. They both gravitated completely to basketball, and they played basketball all the way up. I coached every single one of their teams from the ages of 4 all the way up through high school. I was the assistant associate head coach on their varsity basketball team at high school.
Wow.
And not only that, but when I was the coach there, the head coach and I became really good friends. We ended up taking that team to the CIF championship and winning the CIF championship. And it was the first time in the school's 100-year history that they had won the championship.
Wow.
So
Congrats.
the cool thing about that, thank you. The cool thing about that is my younger son was a starter on that team. In the championship game, he made 5 3-pointers in that championship game. He was just on fire. But
Wow.
he and I now both have CIF championship rings that we'll have together forever, which is
Nice.
really, really cool. It's a good father-son memory to have. So,
Wow.
and then he ended up getting a scholarship to play NAIA for a school here in California. And he did that for 2 years. And then he just kind of got burned out. He didn't want to play anymore. And he said, I just don't want to play anymore, Dad. And I said, okay, well, I can't afford that school because you're going to lose your scholarship. So I can't afford that
Wow.
school now. So we're going to have to move you to a different school. So now he's in Arizona going to the college where his brother went, Grand Canyon University. And he's
Oh,
finished.
GCU.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll finish in May. He'll be done. So he'll be graduated in May. And,
Wow.
so anyways, yeah, it's interesting. Both my boys love sports. They watch sports. They've played sports their whole lives. And it's interesting how, time comes when they just get, burned out on it. And
Mhm.
for you and your wife, I mean, did your wife play ball too?
Yes, that's how we met. That's a whole story in itself. That's a whole story. Like literally, that should be it should be really a movie how we met. Because how we met, so me being a New Yorker and her being from El Paso, Kansas is literally in the middle
Right.
where we met. And she went to Allen County Community College. I went to Independence Community College, both rival schools, right? So I walk into the gym, I see this big haired thing just zip, 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 right? And killing our women's team. She had 40 that game,
Oh, wow.
40. So I'm like, who is this pretty devil?
Right. Right.
And she's killing our team. So I'm like, screw her. And so the night our game came, like I'm having a career night. I mean, probably the best game of my life, like my entire 20-year career, both collegiately, like amateur and professional.
You were just
Like I
hoping
had
she was in the stands watching.
no, actually, no, wait. Okay, there was one time I did get fouled, and I heard somebody say, I got dibs on him. And I'm like, I'm looking around who said that, and I see her laughing. I'm assuming it's her. I don't know it's her though. So I had like 25 points, 15 rebounds, 5 steals, 8 blocks, like 7 assists, like a career night. So we win, and after the game, our bus breaks down. that got maintenance the night before. So you're like it just got fixed. What's going on? So I see her and I attempt to sit next to her. But I literally smashed through the table like a wrestler, like literally, like, and there's a whole bunch of splinters, and I'm on the floor, and the table's broke. I get up, wipe myself off, and literally run outside because I'm like, what the hell did I just do? Did I just embarrass myself? I don't ever do that. What is wrong with me? So I go back inside. I sit in the corner, literally just like I want to go because I'm like fully embarrassed now. And so her roommate comes to me and says, "Hey, my friends want to talk to you, but I don't know who she's talking about." And she's like, "That girl right there." I said, "Oh, her. Okay, I'm just gonna walk over there. Screw it." And so I walk over there and be like, "Hey, what's up? Why didn't you talk to me? Like we could talk. You know, it's okay." And the first sentence she says out of her mouth, "I am not a hoe. You need to come to me." Like, oh, all right. Well, that's an icebreaker. Good job. And then we had a 3 hour conversation, and lo and behold, in the middle of that conversation, her boyfriend says, "We're done. I don't want you no more." And that's the guy I had the career night against. And that was almost 17 years ago.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. What a cool story. That's very cool. And now you guys are coaching together. I mean, that's got to be kind of challenging in itself because you said you're used to being the leader, the head coach, and now you're helping her out. But I mean, I'm sure you guys make a good pair, a good team. So that's awesome. Good for you guys. When it comes to your guys's coaching, did you guys coach or did you coach any of your daughter's teams? Because you said your
um,
son's more the autistic one and or artistic one, and your daughter is the athlete. So
I was there, like I assisted coach my wife with my wife. Uh, um, Sam is a such a strong willed person. I think that's why I was drawn to her. Uh, um, I observed. I'm an observed person first,
okay,
so I realized how difficult it was coaching. I realized when I was assistant coaching with my daughter, and like managing the attitudes. I thought I was used to that. Until I had to realize I can't be that aggressive guy no more. I can't
right,
be the guy like, "Follow me, I'll pull you through." Like, I have to teach these people up who I'm coaching. And I'm not I'm more of an example guy.
yeah,
You follow my example.
right,
Like, it's difficult putting it on a board and being like, "Okay, follow this. It works."
right,
And I'd say me and Alana, our daughter, we bump heads so bad because she's 8 years old and I'm telling her, "Stop shooting, drive." But dad, it's going in. Oh my God. I had to turn off the dad switch because I was like, "Look, I'm gonna grab you by the back of your neck. I don't know who he's yelling at."
I'll sit you on the bench.
and, and I'm like, "Look, time out, ref." Said, "Alana, sit down for the rest of the game." That she huffing and puffing and crying. She's playing she's playing 10-year-olds at 8 and leading them in scoring. And so, it's like, how do you humble a child that young, first of all?
Right, right,
And then how do you make the child better? Because
right.
I'm
Well,
not looking
let me
I'm
freeze you
looking
right there. Let me freeze you right there because that's a good point. How do you humble a child? How do you work on trying to make that child understand how to be better? So, what was the conversation for you and her after the game? Because I guarantee you there was some conversations after the game.
Mhm.
So, how did that conversation go between a father and a daughter, a coach and a player?
Okay, father and daughter, you yell at me again, you're gonna regret it. Simple as that. but but as a coach and a player, I said, "I understand. You're better than a lot of people. I was the same way. But you have to be humble. Just because you're better than them doesn't mean you let them know. You have to let your game talk. When your game talks, it's 10 times louder than anything you could actually say. And then she was like, but dad, they're not good. I'm like, so what? You gonna make sure they know that? I understand what you're doing. I understand. I was the same way. I was arrogant, super arrogant, because I was so much better than so many people. But then I didn't humble myself, so the universe did, and very sharply too. So I understood that it took, for me, it took too much energy being that arrogant guy, consistently
Mm,
talking, consistent
mm,
that. But and I'm trying, and like I explained to her, when you talking, right? And then you come to me, you're breathing really hard. It's because you're talking. Just play ball. Play ball. You ain't got no reason to talk. No reason. Just get back and keep doing what you're doing. And then the next game, it I did it didn't stop, but it was less.
okay. So
It
she's
was
starting to
less.
learn
Yeah, it was a
slowly.
lot less because she plays with a fire that you don't see in kids her age.
Right.
And when she goes up against a girl who's 5'11" and she scores and gets the bucket with the foul, and she yells looking up at her, and I'm like, stop, no, I'm not clapping, stop. And it's hard to contain that because you don't want to contain it, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, you want the flame to grow brighter,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't want it to burn other people. Like I just said in the post I posted recently that there's two types of flames in this world. There's flames people come around, they get warm, and there's flames that burn people.
Mm-hmm.
Which one are you going to be? And I want her to be that flame that people come around
Right.
because she's such a good person in general as a whole. Like off the court, she cries over animals. She looks at a movie and she's like, "Who wrote this? Why do people write this stuff?" And like, and on the court, she's like flipped upside down.
Yeah.
She's like, try to stop me, and I'll make you pay.
Right.
And it's tough. That's a tough balance
Right.
because as a dad, like I'm like, let's go.
Right. Right. I know that. I know your feeling. I know your feeling. Yeah. That's great. No, I get it. Hey, listen, um, if I can give you any bit of advice, I understand what you're saying, teaching her how to be humble. Being humble and kind doesn't mean you don't have to be competitive and aggressive, right? So continue to inspire that aggressiveness, that competitive spirit in her, because that competitiveness will help her in other areas of her life too, especially when she's an adult. When she starts to get into the real world and life really hits her on the chin, she's got that competitive spirit in her. She's going to want to keep going after it, whatever it is, goals, dreams, whatever it is she wants. Even if she's getting knocked down, she's going to want to keep going. So just continue to encourage that competitiveness, but also, just I think you're doing it well, just helping her understand, hey, well, you can be competitive, but you don't have to showboat. You know what I mean? You don't have to be the
Mm-hmm.
person that says, hey, look at me. As long as you're showing what you know how to do and the scores taking care of itself, people will look at you. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
showboat. People will notice you. Trust me. Um, so, I mean, I'm sure you realize that just, playing at the professional level, people will recognize you if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And, yeah, so that's awesome. That's awesome. I do want to dive into a little bit of Squid Games. I don't know what you can or can't talk about on Squid Games. I don't know if you're under any type of you know, contract or
It's
anything.
open. It's open rain. Ask anything.
Okay. All right. So again, like I said at the beginning of the show, for people that haven't seen it, go to Netflix, type in Squid Games. You're going to find two of them. There's going to be one that's just it's a drama, suspenseful, just kind of not real movie about Squid Games, and then there's a reality show that's a game show that has 300. How many it have? 300 and something. Something. Whoop, we lost you.
No, I'm back.
300 and something contestants that all came out to this to play in this game. And he was number 182. So I want to know, first of all, how did you get cast for it? How did you apply? How did that process go? How did you even know it was happening? I didn't even know it was happening until it came out on Netflix. I didn't even know what happened.
Okay, so scrolling Twitter, you know, the crazy thing is I remember exactly what I was looking at. I was looking at highlights of Dame Lillard, his clutch moments, and then I scrolled up a little bit more, and I seen like Squid Game, the challenge. I thought it was like a theme park thing, like a amusement park, like at Six Flags, and they have a challenge of Squid Game. And I'm like, all right, yeah. So 20 minutes later, same thing pops up, but it says final day, final hour to apply. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, huh, screw it. Okay, screw it. So I put in my info. They asked for a video. So I recorded it on the website. I literally said, I'm 6'8". I played professional basketball. I have two kids, and yeah, I'm from New York, and that's it. Because I didn't think it was that serious. So they call. So I get a call from a London number. I'm like, United Kingdom, the hell? And they say, hi, is this Mr. Stuckies? I'm like, Stukes. Like, who is this? And then they said, oh, this is Studio Lambert, casting for Squid Game. To even be eligible, you need to say a little bit more about yourself. You said nothing, literally. And so it was supposed to be, I was supposed to re-record the video, but we ended up having a half-hour conversation, just getting to know me. And it was like, okay, we'll send you an email and we'll let you know what's going on. So I'd say that was October 29th, 2022. And they sent me November 1st, they sent me an email saying that I'm in consideration. And I'm like, oh, like this is real. This is real. So probably about 3 weeks go by, they send me like emails here and there, like basically contact info, license, passport, and all that stuff. So I'm like, oh, okay. And I tell my wife, she don't believe it. I tell Sam, she doesn't believe it. She's like, if it's real, you're gonna get your organs sold. Like you're not coming back. Let's make sure all your insurance is in order. And I'm serious. She's dead serious about this. So like, so when I officially got the like the email saying I was casted, that was like December 2nd. And they the whole like people think that I just got casted and I just went there. No, they made us do like a psychiatric exam with three different psychiatrists.
Hmm.
And then they made us do a physical exam with an actual doctor, not like a nurse or something. No, I had to go to a doctor because I went to a nurse initially, and they said no, it's not good enough. You have to go to a doctor. And so I went to the doctor, and then then like 2 weeks later, they said I was good. Like all your tickets booked, your transportation's booked, the hotel's booked, came in to see you, and then boom.
How soon after you got the email saying, "Hey, you've been casted. We need you to get a physical and all that stuff." How soon till you actually went? Because you found that out beginning of December.
Yeah, that was another month. That was
Okay.
January 4th or 5th. And
Wow.
then yeah, the rest is history.
Wow. It's really cool how the set design, the set that they had you guys in, really did look like the movie. And I'm sure you guys were
Yeah,
probably like everybody there. You could tell by your guys' reactions in the reality show. Everybody who's there was like, "Holy cow,
yeah,
this looks like the real deal."
yeah. When the trailer came out, the first trailer for the show, and it was like Mr. Beast did it better. I didn't know who that was initially, so I looked it up. I said, "You have no idea like how big this was. Like they put 100 million into production alone, and so when we seen the dorms, it was like looking at a screen of the TV show. Like it was one for one. It wasn't like an imitation. I like it looked exactly like it. Exactly. Down to the tiles in the walls. Like it was crazy. Even the bathroom. Like exactly. I mean, exactly. And
That's so cool.
it surprised us too. Not even the dorms, but the entirety of everything. It was just grand. It was like the red light, green light. You see how large it looked? It was
Mhm.
that large. And so, when people look at it, it was true. It was true as it can be.
Yeah. That's I mean, yeah, I mean when I was watching I was just like holy cow, this looks like it's real, like the real show, which is really really cool. And you know what, I mean, I forget what was the grand prize, because it was like a month ago that I watched this thing. What was the grand prize again? It was a lot of money.
$4.5 million.
4.5 million. How long were you there?
I was there. I was there 3 days before Super Bowl, so I went there January 5th. I think fourth. No, no, I flew to fourth and landed the fifth, and then I got back 2 days, 3 days before Super Bowl. So the beginning of February, like I say, maybe 5 weeks altogether.
Wow. And
Yeah.
that's, and then I mean you made it pretty far into the
Mhm.
game. Um, but shoot, you're there for over a month. And for those who haven't seen it, you know they live in essentially like this big dorm room, like it's a big warehouse, and it's
Mhm.
just stacked up of bunk beds that they all lived in. And yeah, I mean they no television, no cell phones, none of that kind of stuff. They're basically cut off. They're living in this warehouse and they're playing this game. It's really fascinating. And what I want to know from you is another one. Is there going to be another one? Do you know? And
Bryan, they confirmed that already. Yeah,
they
they
did.
confirmed. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know what, and I don't know how, but they have confirmed that season 2 is happening, and 300,000 people apply for this one.
Hmm.
Now that they see that, oh, this is big. I'd say it's up to 2 million right now. 2 million people.
Yeah, I would imagine that's gonna skyrocket even more. I could
Mm-hmm.
easily see 10 to 20 million applying for this season too. That's cool. How about you? Are you going to do it again? You going to try?
Um, I am not putting myself through hell for free. There's no way. There's no way.
What game did you get eliminated on?
Glass Bridge.
That's right. The glass bridge.
Yeah,
The glass bridge, you guys gotta check it out. It's glass bridge. They gotta
yeah.
they gotta pick between two steps going across. It's a glass bridge. They gotta pick between which glass is stable enough to hold you, and which glass is actually a breakaway. So you break
Mm.
away from it. So you have to make your way across the bridge, picking one of those steps. And if you make the wrong choice, you go through. Obviously, they had a a net or something that caught you guys, or a pad or something. How far did you fall?
It wasn't me actually.
Oh,
Like I actually jumped, and then they made me do a squat and throw my arms up, and then they whisked us away. Like we didn't get the chance to say goodbye or like good luck, nothing. And then
so it's
my
all fake.
no, there was a stunt double that took my place.
Got it. Wow.
So he actually fell, but yeah, the editing.
Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't know that. It looks like you really fall. I was thinking about that. I'm like, wow, I wonder how far they fall, because it's just a game show. It's just a reality show.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, very cool. I'm glad you did that. I'm sure it opened up other opportunities, kind of got you a little bit of traction as far as who you are and all that kind of stuff. That's really, really cool. What did your kids think? Because that's a conversation. I've watched a lot of reality game shows and stuff. You got some ones out there that last quite a while. And I think about parents that actually leave their kids to go participate in these activities or these game shows. There's one, like Survivor. Obviously, you got Survivor, you got there's Big Brother, there's things like that are out there that, they may be gone 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And the impact that can have on a child. And you have, your kids they're young, but they're not super young, but they're young. They understand what's going on. what was the conversation like that you had with your kids about, hey, dad's going to get ready to go do this. I don't know how long I'm going to be, but hopefully I come back with a lot of money.
Um, our son Amari, he was like, "You're lying, Dad. I don't believe you." And I was like, "I'm dead serious." So I showed him the airplane ticket. He was like, "You doing Squid Game? Oh my God!" He said, "Don't come back until you're a millionaire." And so our daughter was like, so Alana is so intuitive. She said, "Dad, what's going to be your strategy?" As a
That's a
at
great
that this
question.
10-year-old,
That's a
I'm
great
like,
question.
I don't know, baby girl. I don't know. I just said I'm just gonna be kind. Like I'm just gonna be not nice, but kind, to everyone. And Dad, it's Squid Game. Dad, people are mean for no reason in Squid Game. I was like, yeah, but there has to be a reason why they're mean. And she was like, Dad, please don't get eliminated and try to save somebody else.
That's that's awesome. Well, you know what? That's
Oh,
cool. That's cool that she's like, listen, you know what she's doing there? She's speaking her competitive spirit, right? She's like, Dad, go out there and take some heads off and let's win this
yeah.
money, right? She's like, let's get after it. That's that competitive side of her. Don't be nice. Don't be trying to help nobody. Do you. Just do you.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's
Alana.
awesome. Now I'm sure that you made a lot of connections on the show. I'm sure there's probably a ton of people that you shared information with to stay in contact with. What was your closest connection on that show, and who do you keep in contact with now?
I mean, we all keep in contact, because there's so much going in our lives, Like recently, 337, he just announced that him and his wife is pregnant,
Oh, that's cool.
and that's amazing. I literally texted him. I said our Squid family is growing little by little, and so but the closest one to me was probably 183 Jesse. He's from Arkansas. 58, completely opposite of me, and uh, um, we met in the tents right before red light, green light because they had this bunch of number groups. And so it was four of us initially. It was me, myself, 179, 183, and 178. So I was closest with them, but specifically 183 because I called him my white shadow actually. Because you know how shadow, like no matter how tall you get, your shadow is
Right,
smaller than you.
right.
And he was always behind me, and he was the next number behind me also. That's why I call him my white shadow. So
That's awesome. That's cool. When it comes to us kind of raising our kids to endure or have that competitive spirit. What about your daughter? Well, let's talk about your son a little bit. You
yeah.
said he's artistic. What kind of things is he into, and how do you get that competitive spirit out of him, even though he's not playing sports?
Okay, so he played basketball for a while, but he like your son, he said, Dad, I don't want to do it no more. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, at first I was like, why? Why? Son, you're gonna be my height, you're gonna be my build. Why? But
Right.
after Sam was talking to me and letting me know that, our son is more than just a sport. Like let's see what he does and let's see if he's good at it. So uh, um there's an anime out there called it's a weird name, Danganronpa, whatever. But he makes full episodes. He literally makes full episodes on his phone from the script to the production to the animation to the music. He makes the music.
Huh.
And I'm like, all on his phone. And I'm like, why are you on your phone all the time? And then he showed me the finished product. I'm like, damn, this is good.
Right.
And and so like, I'm sharing with my friends. I'm like, hey, give me your honest opinion on this. And they was like, this is okay. Like, how old is your son? 13. And would he make this on a laptop, on a monitor, like on a desktop? No, on his phone. What? And people are saying like people are surprised, like he's doing this all on his phone. And I'm like, yeah, he's really good at it. And so he has a few up on YouTube. I forget where somewhere, but it has like 10,000 views, and
Hmm.
people are liking this. And I'm like, son, you have to be consistent. You can't just stop because you make one good thing. And he's like, but I'm not going to make no money from it. I'm like, son, it's not about the money. It's not yet. You are too young to really to care about money right now. Just enjoy being a child. I tell him all the time, enjoy being a child because being an adult sucks. And he's currently in process of making episode 3, 4, and 5. So I'm like, son, uh, just stay with it because there's so many people doing what you do, but they have more equipment, they have a team behind them, and you're doing this by yourself.
Right.
So make sure you give the best product that you can give and try not to copy somebody else. So he's very competitive about that, and he voice acts the entire thing, like
Wow,
every
that's
character.
cool.
So it's not just from that standpoint, the production point. He also does the talent point too. And he's surprisingly really good at it.
Huh.
And so I'm like, this guy might make me some money someday.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I'm really I'm going in to invest in his passion, get him a big iPad, get him the Apple Pen, and actually see what he can do when he has real tools, not
Right.
just his phone.
Right. That's cool. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, you're right. It's not about the money right now, but continue doing the stuff that he's doing and being, getting the attention that he's getting, the money, the money will come. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
easy part, especially if he loves what he's doing. That's the other part of it. That's the other component is, kids have these, when we're kids, we have these huge goals, these huge dreams, and then things happen, life kind of gets in the way, and kids kind of lose that passion or that dream. And for him, I mean, he still has that passion, that dream when he starts to get older. If he's doing this now at 13, imagine when he's 18, 5 years from now, he's
Yeah.
not even, he's barely graduated high school. 5 years from now, he's making some money,
Hmm.
just graduated high school. And if, as long as he keeps doing it over these next 5 years, I mean, that's, yeah, good for him. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a proud dad moment right there.
Yeah. Yeah. And like as a dad, you always want your son to like follow your footsteps in somehow, some way.
Right.
And at first, initially, I was disappointed. Like I'm like, damn, he don't want to play basketball. Damn, my kid. But I'm learning what he's doing as well, and
Right.
I love learning new things,
Yeah.
especially when it's from a viable source. So we're both learning each other at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. You're learning as a dad. Listen, I've got, like I said, my boys are 25 and 22, and I still learn things from them every day. And
Mhm.
they're two of my best friends. We enjoy activities together. We golf together, those sorts of things. But I'm always their biggest supporter, right? And yeah, there's a part of me that I was in the Marine Corps. I spent 4 years in the military, and a part of me wanted them to go into the military. Part of me wanted them to go in and learn that discipline and learn that work ethic and learn how to kind of grow up, become a man a little bit more, learn how to defend yourself. And not only that, but have a college paid for because the military paid for my college, right? And my boys didn't want to do that. They had no desire to go into the military at all. And yeah, part of me was like a little like bummed that they didn't want to do that. But on the flip side, they're trying to figure out who they are. And that's what your
Mhm.
son's doing. That's what your daughter's doing. They're trying to figure out who they are as individuals, as independent from mom and dad. Yeah, we can be there and guide them and support them along the way, but trying to push them or steer them one direction or the other could ultimately impact not only who they become or who they wanted to become but didn't, but also can impact the relationship between you and your daughter or you and your son. And that could be a negative impact that you really don't want to have happen. So I think for you, just continuing to support your son and encouraging him, helping him out by providing the things that he needs in order to advance in those skills is great. And the same with your daughter, providing the things that she needs in order to advance in her skills, whether it's training camps, or, even working out with your guys' college team.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? I mean, she might be able to help out at practice or something like that, just kind of learn what it's like to be in a college basketball environment, because it's very fast paced. My
Mm-hmm.
younger son, he's at Grand Canyon University right now. And even though he doesn't play anymore, he was coaching at a community college in Arizona he had a grown man that was the head coach. And then my son came in as kind of this intern and was helping him out on the court, because my son still had a passion for the sport, even though he didn't want to play. And so he was helping him out as a coach at the college level. So yeah, I mean, maybe introducing your daughter to that as well would be really cool.
That's awesome. At her age, she's being exposed to something that, like, basketball, forget women or men or boys and girls, that basketball players aren't exposed to, that early, like collegiate basketball.
Right.
And doing it correctly.
Right.
And both parents being collegiate athletes and pro. Like, the only reason why Sam didn't play pro because she became a mom. Yeah. So like, having both spectrums, one great coach and one great player who's learning to be a good coach. I think that's gonna spike her potential even more.
Yeah. That's really neat. That's really neat, man. I hope that works out. And I'm really interested in learning more about your son too, and the stuff that he's doing, to see how that goes for him as well. That's really cool. TJ, I want to ask you as we close up here, if my listeners or viewers kind of wanted to check you out, learn a little bit more about you, best places for them to do that.
All socials: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I'm never calling it X. TJ Stukes, like, just my name, literally TJ Stukes, no spaces. You'll find me.
Awesome. Well, listen, TJ, thank you very much for being on, man. I really enjoyed this conversation, really enjoyed getting to know you a little bit more. And honestly, I'm looking forward to continuing our friendship. So thanks for being on, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Bryan. I appreciate it. And thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, guys, it's been another episode of Dad Up. I want to thank my good friend TJ Stukes for being on. Obviously, he's active on social media. You can find his social media links in the show notes, but it's just TJ Stukes. That's it. That's very easy to find, and he is active on there. So if you have questions, you want to reach out to him, he will be more than happy to answer those for you, any questions you guys might have. And then obviously you can check him out on the Squid Games on Netflix, Squid Games Squid Game Challenge reality show. He's number 183 on there, and he's more than happy to, check him out there. But as always, guys, listen, hey, I look forward to reading your comments, getting your feedback on episodes. So make sure you guys give your feedback on this one. And if you are not yet subscribed to my show, please make sure you do that so you don't miss any of the awesome guests I have on each and every week. And as always, I look forward to seeing you all on the next episode of Dad Up. Wow, another amazing episode in the books. So much was shared, and I'm truly grateful my guest was able to pour into you to help you elevate your dad game and really dad up. Make sure you bang that subscribe button so you don't miss a single episode. And while you're here, please don't forget to leave me a rating and a review. I always appreciate the feedback. And one last thing, don't forget, your role as a dad is one of the most important roles you have. So if you need a little help or have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me on my website at daduptribe.com or at my Instagram page at Dad Up Podcast. Until next time, everyone, Dad Up.